Oscar Wilde is an amazing writer, and then his writing skills and his verbal vocabulary is very visual. At the same time, the Picture of Dorian Gray is very supernatural, very much Synetic. This production will be more internal. It will be based more about internal expression. It will be spectacles, but it will be based more about internal character. We human beings, we always have two sides, if not more. Right? We always facing hard choices, temptations. Sometimes we do something, we make some choice, and then we regret. And it's same thing with the Dorian.
It's like yin and yang. So you have the darker Dorian, that's the actual living Dorian, who doesn't feel any remorse. And then the portrait sort of is the one that not only physically represents the agony and the pain of what Dorian's doing, but also has the remorse and feels that pain that for others.
Unlike any other productions or in the movies about the Picture of Dorian Gray, I'm going to have a life picture, life portrait, who's gonna become kind of, the life. It's gonna be his conscience. It's like it gives me a chance to go to metaphorical world.
I think that was part of the genius in Pata's vision for this particular production, is bringing Philip in as the portrait. The portrait tells story in itself and comes and interacts and becomes an important part of the events that happen on stage. I have a moment where I'm able to relive the experience of painting the picture, and then later in the play I experience the memory of that and express my true feelings for Dorian through not just my voice, but through my movement as I, in essence, dance with the portrait.
Oscar Wilde gives me this moment when it can be done like duet with boy-to-boy dance, which is never done before in Synetic. Choreography is going to be really interesting because it's going to be so much projections in it. Also, there's going to be paint involved. It's going to be beautiful paint and beautiful bodies in this kind of dreamy-wise, dramatic orgy scene.
So in this production, paint has the character itself, because it's about the picture of Dorian Gray. It's about Basil painting the Dorian Gray. So for me, paint became the character as well. And the set itself very symbolic, because we are using multimedia. We will project Dorian Gray's images, what's going on in his head, how paint can look, very abstract, very surreal.
Yeah, the set is very modern. Right? It reminds you of modern art and beginnings of abstraction. And lots of frames, right, that images can fit within.
You're entering on the stage and you see these projection screens and you're like, what's going on here? And then in the second you see these beautiful pictures appears, and of course with movement it becomes like a beautiful, colorful piece. There is love, there is of course decadence in this piece.
I like to do dark shows. I mean, it's one of my signature. I know how to do dark shows, how to do tragic things, how to do kind of really extremes. Let's talk about a little darkness. The darkness and and then the creepiness and even scariness. When I'm talking about, I'm going to try to make my best to make sure that it also has beauty in it.
And I think that's what's great about the show. It's dark, it's gritty. And it has the nuance and detail that maybe a lot of people haven't seen Synetic do before.
It's a common misconception that all of Synetic's shows are silent. Synetic has been doing text shows for years, since its inception. And it's the Silent Shakespeare series that are silent, all of the Shakespeare plays. But the majority of Synetic's shows actually have text. I think what really makes us unique is this combination of movement and voice together.
Acting is always physical. The body must always be connected to both the voice and the mind and the heart. if you are going to build and live with a character. We are always attempting to push ourselves as artists, that we are never, at Synetic, always living outside of the comfort zone, right? Always doing something that maybe people say can't be done, or you can't do, or you don't do well, and keep plugging away at it.
Everything that together with, you know, the panels, minimalistic set, projections on it, and then actors and dance and movement and paint, when you fuse them together, it's going to be really wild Oscar Wilde production.